Okay. Everything should be working by now. And the bot is already here. And just doing final check. My testing. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello. How you all doing tonight? Can you feel the love tonight? How about now? Can everybody hear me? Can anybody see the... Ooh. I'm burning with excitement, baby. It's time for a manga talk, where I'll talk about the mangas that you all seem to recommend me to say. I put a poll earlier this week, and you all said I should talk about more yaoi. Ooh, yeah, baby. Ow! I cannot go that high tonight. I am currently running very late. You see? Yeah, I'm running a little bit late for the stream. This was supposed to it's supposed to start like half an hour ago, but I had so many technical issues going on like right before the stream. So I had to like go and try to fix everything, and that actually caused like slight delay. We're just gonna wait for, say, another 3 minutes before we start. So please be patient and listen to this high-pitched intro music for some reason. I really need a better intro music, because you can barely hear my voice right now. I'm just gonna run through all my notes. I already got my notes. How is everybody doing tonight? How are you guys? I'm just gonna to save some space and not be sad by the what was it called again? The analytics. I don't wanna be sad by the analytics. The chatbot's already here, and we can probably start by now. Except we're still waiting for you to come and join, and come and play. Even though I just announced the stream like 1.5 hours ago. Yeah, it's been like 5 minutes and we can actually start now.
Thanks for letting us know, Streambot. Okay, and I guess we can start now. And we are live! Hello! And welcome to the stream. My name is Nanaten. I'm trying to open my mouth very and enunciate everything that I say for the sake of the camera tracking. So my mouth is very exaggerated by now. Also, I forgot that I still have my reverb filter on. Okay, how about now? We should restart. Hello and welcome to another episode of Manga Talk. I am your host, Nanaten, the always amazing, your lovely manga translator. And this bit is probably going to be continued for the next 5 minutes until I forgot to do so and revert back to my old speech style. Yes, the only reason why I talk like this because I'm trying to exaggerate my mouth movement so the camera tracking could track my mouth. Why am I suddenly Christopher Walken? So, how is everyone doing tonight? I hope you are doing well and I hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead of you. As for myself, I've been taking way too much L just in the past 12 hours. In the past 12 hours, I have fallen down the stairs and landed on my back. So now I sit like this because it's the only way where I can sit that doesn't hurt my lower back. I actually landed on my hip and it is probably going to hurt tomorrow. Also, right before that, there has been a termite infestation in my room. And it has destroyed almost 45% of my PC cabinet, which I put my PC and my monitor on. So I had to unplug everything, my PC, my monitor, everything, just to check on the damage by the termite. And wow, if you've seen my Twitter, and I must say that that photo does not convey how much damage that the termite has caused in my room. And not just my PC cabinet, it also has eaten away my door frame. I'm not even sure if it actually managed to get on the floor. I live in the second floor and I am now just realized that I am fearing for my life. So please send help. And the termite extermination, which is just myself spraying the anti-termite spray, won't be happening until Monday. So I am living with risk of termite infestation and not also counting the bed bugs that is living on my bed and has been eating away my foot right now. So which is why I'm wearing shoes indoors right now, as you can see. And another reason why I'm sitting on my bed is because I already told you how I hurt my back and how the termite infestation has also eaten away my wooden chair that I use for my PC. I don't actually have a wooden chair, I just wanted to emphasize on that, the termite infestation. Yeah, that's the end of that bit. Anyway, yeah, so that bit doesn't work. It still doesn't really... It doesn't actually affect the tracking whatsoever. So yeah, hello everyone. Why I'm redoing my intro again? So, welcome to Manga Talk. This is an old stream series that I've been doing like since the past couple of years, where I talk about manga and stuff. And in this stream, I'm just going to recommend some of the titles that limited to the topics that we're having this week. So earlier this week, I asked you guys on what kind of manga recommendation would you guys like me to hear, to give it to you. So during that poll, I had like 4 options. Number 1, we have horror. Number 2, we have... let me pull up the poll. Okay, so number 1, we have horror manga, which will probably more suited for, say, October, because, you know, Halloween stuff. And the second one is about the manga reboot. This is actually a topic for a video, but I have no, say, the time to record, so I'm just going to put it on the Manga Talk. And the third one is Isekai spin-off manga, which is about, like it says, just an Isekai spin-off of an already established IP, right? It was some sort of a trend back in 2021, and I only noticed it because there's actually quite a lot of just an already long-running manga, and for some reason it has an isekai spin-off. Just those same character only got isekai, right? For example, we have the Lupin the Third isekai, which for some reason is still ongoing. And there's actually one more and one other isekai spin-off that I actually enjoyed. And finally, for the final option, we have just talk about yaoi. So before, last year, I actually did a yaoi manga recommendation stream just like this, right? So if any of your favorite manga wasn't on this list, you should probably check out the previous stream archive. It's also available on this channel. Yeah. So I did not expect for this to get actually voted, because I did not expect to come up with a bunch of more should I say recommendation, because I thought the last yaoi stream was enough, and I thought I didn't have enough titles to recommend to you guys, because usually when people make recommendation, it would be like 10 or 9. I usually make 9, but it doesn't actually rhyme with the name now, doesn't it? The Nanaten. Why is Nanaten only give 9 manga recommendation? Why not 10? My god, what a waste opportunity. So yeah, I increased the manga titles that I'm going to talk about in this stream. And I thought, there's no way I could come up with 10 different yaoi titles, right? So I look up my manga reading list on Mangadex, and I found 13 more titles that I actually bookmarked. Yeah, the yaoi mangas that I actually enjoyed, and go all the way to bookmark, because usually when I saw a title, I don't usually bookmark it. Only if I actually really do enjoy it, right? And I actually want to see more, then I would click that bookmark button and the follow button to see the release on Mangadex. So yeah, so the following list is actually those mangas that I really enjoyed. There's actually quite a few criteria for this list, okay? And I've talked about it in the previous title, in the previous stream, but to give you a little more context, right? So, number one, the manga must have more than one volume, okay? So, a bunch of yaoi titles, they're just like one volume series, right? Even though they have so many chapters. And I also won't count doujins, okay? Because that's just about the culture yaoi stuff. I won't put it because that's just, that's just silly. So yeah, number one, it has to be an official release, right, by a publisher, not self-made doujin, okay? That's the most important part. And number two, it has to be released more than one volume, okay? Like I said, a lot of official yaoi titles are just like one-shot volume. They have, right? They have a couple of chapters, but they all only encompassing of one volume, right? I already talked about how they all, for some reason, all of the yaoi... What's wrong with my hand? Ow! Yeah, so all of the one-volume yaoi titles, for some reason, they all follow the same plot beats, if you know what I mean, right? To give you an example, I'm just going to... Okay, so imagine any yaois that you're currently reading, okay? So I'm just gonna summarize almost all of it. Okay, here we go. In chapter 1, we'll get introduced to the Seimei and the Uke, right? And they will meet and they will, proceed to have an intimate relationship, right? Proceed to make physical contact, should I say. And that's actually just the hook to get you to reading the yaoi, right? And then on the second chapter, there was just some sort of drama. Maybe the Uke, like, he doesn't really like it. Like, what's this dude's problem? Sort of conflict, right? And they started to coincidentally meet again, and they start to have this casual fling. Physical contact may or may not happen in this chapter, right? And then we go to the chapter 3, when we get to know about one of the pairs, right? And we see their backstory, what makes them tick, and then one character will start to sympathize with it. And then at number 4, and at chapter 4, we'll see a little bit race in conflict, right? I mean, we have to up the drama somehow, and the cracks start to show in their relationship, right? And then finally, on chapter 5, chapter 5 is when the high point drama, the boiling point, of the drama start to kick in. This is where usually the couple, the cracks start to just shatter, right? And they both some sort of have a conflict and they broke up or something, right? And then the couple separates. If it's action, maybe in most cases, one of the couples get some sort of, the couple had a fight or something, they had a conflict, and one of them gets kidnapped or something, I don't know. And then at chapter 5, this is when the conclusion chapter, right? And they finally reach a settlement. They reach how should I say? What's the word that I was looking for? They reach a compromise or something. And then they finally decide to declare their love for each other. And then they engage in physical contact with each other. Yes. That is the way I'm going to put it onto words for the rest of the stream. Yeah, I'm trying to not get this stream age restricted, so I'm just gonna be a little bit more playful with my words, you know. Anyway, back to the rules. Okay, so we've already established the first rule. It has to be an official release. Second, the title must not be a one volume only, so it has to be a multiple volume. And the third one is, of course, I would actually have to like it, or else I won't actually put it on this list. Okay. So yeah, before we start, if you've been enjoying, before I begin, if you've been enjoying the stream so far, be sure to drop a like down below. And if you want to see more, please consider subscribing and ring the bell to get notified on all my future stream. Because I saw the analytics actually, and like say, actually 90% of you haven't subscribed yet. What's up with that? So yeah, please hit that subscribe button and leave a comment if you're watching this, the VOD for this, and actually leave a comment on the yaoi titles that you recommend, maybe. And I don't know, maybe I'll check it out. What else? What rules are there? Oh yeah, this is strictly limited to Japanese manga. Okay? Yeah, sorry Korean webtoons out there, the webtoon readers out there, but this is just strictly Japanese manga only, as the title suggests. This is called Manga Talk, guys. What other rules? I guess that's it. Yeah, I guess we can start now, right? So yeah, let's jump right into it with the first title. Because I've been talking long enough. You just want to see what degeneracy that I have cooked up. Mostly the titles on this list is actually pretty tame, I must say. There's not really much degenerate, like only 2-3 titles, I guess, out of 13. If you want to see more, and when I actually expose my degeneracy, you can go and check out the previous yaoi 3x3 list, because during that manga talk I actually compile it in a 3x3 list, and you know, just the list was really wild, you guys. Well, actually only one. So yeah, if your favorite titles did not get mentioned in this, I probably did do it in the previous stream. forgot to link it down below. Yeah, I'll probably link it later. So yeah, let's jump right into it with the first title. Okay, so the first title we have, I Think Our Son is Gay, which isn't actually a yaoi title, but I just wanted to put that thing here because, you know, the title is... If you watch my previous stream, I actually put another one. Non-yaoi manga by Gengoro Tagame called My Brother's Husband. This is in the similar vein, right? So, to summarize the plot, it's about a housewife, a mother, who is suspecting that her son, one of her oldest son, is gay. And the way that they present it is... And the way that the manga tried to portray it is very tasteful, right? Because the son is actually trying to hide. The son character, he still hasn't come out, and he's still trying to figure it out, right? And the way that the mother is trying to act supportive towards her son. I think that's the better way to describe it. And it tries to say the portrayal of gay people. I really like the portrayal of the son here, because in some situation, for a lot of people, I really don't know how to convey this, right? One of the strong point of the manga is the way that her mother tries to be supportive towards her son without the son ever knowing that the mother already figured it out, right? And they both try to hide the fact, and while the mother is still trying to be supportive, right? Because the son isn't really ready to come out yet. And what else? And so the manga it tells the story of their daily life and the mother's how should I say it, observation of her son, right? And how the son is trying to hide the fact that he is gay and doesn't want to come out, right? But yeah, and the mother is really trying to be supportive. I keep saying this over and over again. What is wrong with me? I'm a terrible manga reviewer. Yeah, it's probably because so sorry about that. And it's probably because I did not actually prepare for this stream like at all. I did prepare some of my notes, but I forgot to put on my notes on this because it's been a while since the last time I read this. This is not even a yaoi title. I just wanted to put this here because of the topic, right? Yeah. So anyway, happy Pride Month. Holy shit, I forgot to mention that. Happy Pride Month, everybody. Anyway, so yeah, I guess that's pretty much it on the things that I can talk about this manga. Please give it a read. you can read the latest translation on Mangadex, or if you want to support the official release, it's actually available on Yen Press, right? So if you actually have the resource, please consider buying the manga. It's really good, you guys. Okay, next up. Okay, so full disclosure, well, I actually do listed like a bunch of titles. I actually don't know what the slide was kind of randomized. So I don't know exactly what title will come out next. Okay, next title. Oh my god, we're already under the degenerate stuff. Oh my god. Okay, so this is called Taikakusa. Okay, and it is by Panda Yamome. Oh my god, I already broke one of my rules. Holy shit. Okay, so remember the first rule on how this is on how the title was supposed to be an official published titles? Yeah, I already broke it by putting this. So this is called Taikakusa. It is a webcomic published on Twitter and on Pixiv by Panda Yamome. And if you've been around in the yaoi doujin circle, Panda Yamome is kind of degenerate. Should I say they draw like how should I say it? Self-published cultured yaoi books. Okay? And some of the titles that he wrote, like I read most of his title, they're self-published doujins, and how should I say it? The PP shouldn't look like that. The way that Panda Yamome draw PP. Anyway, but I still like the way Panda Yamome draw anatomy on the characters, right? But the PP part is leaves a lot to be desired. The sequence of words I did not expect to say during this stream. So, oh my god, what is my life? Anyway, back to this title, okay? So this is called Taikakusa, and it tells the story of a couple, right? A gay couple, and who is a gay couple who has, as the title suggests, these couple have difference in body types, right? In their size, should I say? The title Taikakusa means body gap, right? The difference between the size of their body. So there's the tall one, the big one, and the small one. The small one is a little bit is the older one in the relationship. The little one is actually the senpai, his senpai in his office, and they started dating. And because of their body type differences, they were, how should I say it? The first chapter in the first chapter, they already describe how their body differences makes it hard for them to engage in physical relationship, right? And making physical contact with each other, right? Hold on, let me just use an air quotes. Oh, what is wrong with my hand? Physical relationship, right? But for the course of the run of the manga, they tried to make the relationship work. And that's what I really like. It's just a really wholesome web manga, right? About one couple that has body type differences, right? They have the different size, right? But they still try to make it work, and I actually really quite enjoyed reading this. The only thing that really upset me is that in manga decks they only translated like up to chapter 5, while the Japanese Ross was like, I don't know, like 90 something chapter. I don't know, I haven't read it in like a while. And for some reason, one of my other gripes is that I think it was on the chapter 80 or something. So the whole time it's just drawn as a slice of life kind of story, right? It tells the daily life of these two and how they spend their time together. But for some reason, somewhere around chapter 70 or 80 or something, they started to introduce this time loop plot line or something. And apparently these two couples has been on a time loop reincarnation kind of thing. They keep reincarnating as each other, and they keep repeating the same relationship over and over, where one of them dies in an accident, and the other one tried to rewind time or something. I don't know, it's really confusing, but I guess that's one of the main draw mystery from that moment on. And I actually like it. It's just build the drama and the mystery, you know, on what's actually been going on. I'll talk about it, which is something that I want to talk about later on the stream. So yeah, if any yaoi manga translator out there looking for a new project, please consider translating this, because I really wanted to know what's going on. Okay, next up on the list. Wow, we're starting with the degeneracy strong this one. Wow, it's only been like 40 minutes. We've only gone through like 3 titles, and we've already going through the most degenerate ones in this, that I assume. Oh my god. So this is called Soitogete Ryujin-san. I forgot what the English translation means. Okay, so the story is about so in the world of this manga, right? In the universe, there has been a new race of humanity called the Dragon Newt or something, Ryujin, right? The human dragon. And how basically some humans has this chance of transforming into a dragon, right? They become a dragon newt, should I say. And there are many kinds of dragon newts, okay? There's a humanoid ones, right? Like how with like they can take some. So the dragon newts can take some forms, right? Some either shaped like a human but with dragon characteristic, like some scale, or with dragon strength, right? With super strength, and some of them have horns, and some dragon newts are just they straight up turn into big dragons, right? And one day, the main character is this high school boy, right? And one day, on his way home, he found this starving dragon, right? Who is looking for a place to stay. So the main character just took the dragon home, and they basically started to live together, right? And then tensions build up and relationship is built. And why is this degenerate, you say? Well, because in the first chapter, like I said, during my whole yaoi plot, where they actually put the physical context scenes in the first chapter, they did it while the... Okay, so first of all, I need to pedal back. I need to go back for 1 second. So those full-size dragon also had some of the full-size dragon newts, right? Have this ability to revert back to their human form. Okay? So you thought, oh, maybe when they engage the physical relationship, maybe the dragon just turned into this ikemen hot guy with humanoid form? No. In the first chapter, they committed physical contact while he's still in the full dragon form. Yeah. Ooh. How should I say this? Just oof. And I never thought. Yeah. The phrase "bad dragon" has never crossed my mind until now, until I described it in the stream. For those who doesn't know what bad dragon is, please do not look it up. Yeah. So anyway, I thought that at first I thought it was just going to be a 1-volume thing, but the author actually made up to volume 3, I guess, and the upcoming volume actually explore some of the world building there. So yeah, the other thing, I just like dragons. Okay, dragons are cool. Yeah, the reason why I read this is, 1, dragons are cool, and 2, I actually like the world building in this manga. They told us on how the dragon transformation actually affects their life. How turning into dragon newt has changed the dragon newt's life, right? And how they can reintegrate themselves back to society. And I actually really like that aspect of world building. Yeah, anyway, like I said, dragons are cool. So sue me. I just like mangas that's about dragons, okay? I translate Coruscant no Ryujutsu for a reason, because dragons are cool. No matter how degenerate this manga and their relationship is. Yeah, so in the subsequent volume, they actually start to explore the backstory of each character and each of their past trauma regarding of dragon, how to live with dragon newts and with the main character and their abandonment issues, right? So the main character is actually was abandoned by his parents, and the dragon newt is looking for a place to live after being transformed, and basically cannot bear living in the countryside anymore, and he's looking for a better way of life because in the countryside he was bullied for being a dragon, and he couldn't take it anymore, so he decided to just go to the big city, and where they finally meet the main characters. And I actually really like the relationship between the two because how they try to overcome both of their traumas, right? And they help each other getting over their traumas. I hope that the fourth volume is coming out soon. Anyway, so yeah, this manga is called Soitogete Ryujin-san, and if you want to check it out, just go ahead. Alright, next manga, because we still have like 10 more titles to go through. Oh, this one is my favorite. So this is called The Summer Hikaru Died, or Hikaru ga Shindanatsu. Oh my god, this manga just... Mwah, mwah. This manga is so good, you guys. So, if I wanted to describe it in one sentence, it would be Higurashi meets Tokyo Ghoul, but gay. Okay? But with sexual tension just turn up to 11. Okay? So, the plot is like this. This guy, Hikaru, the guy with white hair right here, he has this best friend, right? He is best friend with the main character. And one day, Hikaru went up to the mountains and ended up missing, right? And when he came back, and everything went to normal until one day the main character just says something that he noticed that that's not Hikaru, and that Hikaru has been replaced with this unknown entity, and that Hikaru has died. And so yeah, so basically the guy in the white hair is dead and has been replaced by some sort of entity, kind of body snatcher kind of thing. And they both realize it, but decided to keep it a secret from everyone, right? Just decided to keep Hikaru's death a secret. So the entity, also named took Hikaru's place and just started living in the society as him. And I really like the supernatural mystery aspect of the manga, and the way the main character process grief of losing his best friend Hikaru. And that actually built this really interesting dynamic between the main character Yoshiki. Yeah, between the main character and Hikaru the imposter, right? Because they both know that the imposter is not the real Hikaru, but they still treat him as such. And that actually creates a really interesting dynamic and create a great tension between them. Because while the imposter Hikaru tries to live as him, Yoshiki knows that it's not him, but he still wanted to pretend that he's still alive somewhere, even though they both know that Hikaru has died. And the mystery aspect is also actually quite good. There's some moment in the manga that just give a really great horror vibes. right? And the way the rule setting area and the way that it builds up the horror tension is so good, right? It really builds up the moment, right? Because the way the framing tries to, the way the author tries to build up tension, right? So you know how the sound effects text, right, was put in the manga, right? They just put it like a really big text just to convey the feeling, the vibe of the scene. In this manga, the way the sound effects was drawn, right, it enhanced the eerie tension of the rural settings, because usually the sound effects would just plastered all on the screen, right? Try to be inconspicuous. But in this, the sound effects was actually its own character, right? Because you know, the sound effects is just, the sound effects text was actually one of the entity. Spoiler, right? Spoiler, I guess. Brah. And so sometimes the sound effects is just there, standing there menacingly. And you know, something is wrong about the settings on that rural area. I really don't know how to describe the feelings, and some of the intimate scenes has a really great tension. That's all I can say about the summer Hikaru died. So if again, please give it a read, you guys. It's actually really good. It's actually won an award last year for best manga of the year in Japan, right? That's just how good it was. That's just how good it is. And I even decided to just read the Japanese RAWs instead of waiting for the translation, the scanlation, or the official translation by Yen Press. It's really good. Either in even in Japanese, and the scanlators and the official English translator actually did a really good job in conveying the tension through their typesetting works. So yeah, props to the typesetter of the translation, I guess. I actually talked about this during my Nanaten Awards, right? I also did give it for a biggest surprise of the year, because I did not expect BL manga to won best Kono Manga ga Sugoi award last year. So I decided to check it out, and I've been in love with this manga ever since. It's really good, you guys. Okay, next up. Oh, this one. Yeah. So this is called let me pick up my list. So this is called Yabu ni Kyusetsu Shitsure Shimasu, or in English, the English title is I Need to Suck Blood Tonight. So yeah. So as you can guess from the title and from the cover, this is actually a manga about vampires, right? So to summarize, think a night with a vampire, but in modern settings. Okay, so the story is there's this the main character has recently turned into a vampire by some unknown woman, right? But he doesn't want to suck blood from a human. So in the first chapter, he tries to find any stray cat and just starts sucking their blood. And one night, should I say, he was discovered by his subordinates. Okay, the young guy, okay? The young guy on the cover. And apparently, his subordinates was actually a vampire maniac, and he actually wanted to become a vampire, should I say. And so the subordinates start to threaten the main character and say, tag me along with your nightly what should I say it? Your nightly activities, and I will keep your secret. Because he also knows that he has been a vampire for quite a while, because the subordinate was actually been stalking him. The subordinate actually witnessed the night that the main character got turned into a vampire. So they start to, go out at night, and the subordinate also actually offers him blood. Alright? They start offering him blood in hopes that it will turn him into a vampire. But the main character doesn't want to, right? He doesn't want to suck his blood. So it really creates this really great tension, the dynamic between the two, because their real life relationship is that of subordinate and superior, right? Superior and subordinates. But I like when they actually turn that dynamic around. So the subordinate is in more control in this relationship, right? And that really creates a really great intimate scenes, right? On how the subordinate offers himself, but the way that he offers himself was kind of he offers his blood in kind of a mocking way. And so the main character was really reluctant to accept it, but because of his vampire compulsions, he must accept, right? And that creates a really great scenes, like the chemistry between the two. And as the story progresses, they started to investigate on how to turn the main characters back into humans, right? So they started going out and they started to investigate. This is mild spoiler. So we found out about the backstory of the main character, that it is revealed that he's actually more involved with vampires and the supernatural more than he expected, right? And so he started to get involved more and more with the supernatural life as the series goes on. And I believe it won't be long until the story is actually finished. So the manga so far has been fan translated on Mangadex up to like, say, 5-6 chapters. But no, but the manga in Japan has actually been released up to chapter 24, and I actually just go ahead and read the Japanese raws, right? And I must say the mystery elements is kind of I really kind of like it, the mystery supernatural elements of the series, because as we found out more about the world and how the vampire system works, right? And we start to find out more about the main character's connection with the supernaturals, and how everything wasn't actually a coincidence, and how he got turned into a vampire. And so yeah, if you want to read a yaoi about vampires and with a really interesting superior subordinate relationship in urban settings, yeah, give this thing a go. Okay, next up. Next title. Okay. This one. So this is called Ex Hero. I forgot the name of the title. The Ex Hero High Schooler and Ex Demon King. Wait, I believe that's not the Ex Demon King Househusband. Yeah, I believe that's the complete title. Just type up, if you're on Magadex, just type the Ex Hero High Schooler and Ex Demon King. You'll probably find it. This is an interesting case. I already said about Rule 1, only official release. Okay, so first one. Okay, I also broke the first rule with this one, because but not exactly. So the manga actually started as a web manga on Pixiv, right? But it got picked up by I guess it's still by Pixiv Comics for an official release, right? So the web manga only has like 16, 17 chapters, and that got picked up and become an official release. Unfortunately, so far I can only see it one volume. I don't know what happens with if there's a second volume or not. So I also broke the second rule that I have. That was fast. We've only been like an hour into the stream and we already broke 2 rules. But yeah. So the story is that the main character got isekai, right? So it started with the main character got isekai, and it's the whole typical plot of the hero got summoned and to defeat the Demon King, right? Kind of plot, right? So the main character got isekai, becomes the hero, and he defeats the Demon King and then got sent back to his real world, right? And so he returns back, the high schooler returns back to his home world, and he went home, and there he finds the Demon King, right? And the Demon King says, "Please take me as your legal wife." And yeah, the Demon King basically falls in love with the hero and wants to marry him, right? So the web manga tells the details of their daily life and how they started to live to live together, right? And while they're not exactly stated if they're officially a couple or not, and how typically the main character, the high schooler hero, would just refuse the advance of the Demon King. But as the series progresses, he started to reciprocate on the Demon King's feelings more and more, up to the point where it's obviously they become a couple. They start to care for each other, right? They start to care for each other's feelings and such. And it's really presented in a really wholesome way. Yeah, unfortunately, the web comic only lasted for like 16 chapters. And then it got picked up for official release. So as for the official release itself, it's pretty much almost the same as the web manga version, but it expanded the chapter more, right? The chapter from the web comics, right? Because I tried to compare it, and some of the panels was just one-for-one recreation of the web comic panels. The only difference is that the official manga actually just expand set scenes, because the web manga only has like 5-10 pages per chapter. In the official release, it got expanded to like a full-length chapter, like 30 something. And sadly, only one volume was released. I don't know what happened. Probably there's a second volume that I don't know of, but according to the page on the Pixiv website, the Pixiv comic website, it only has like one. As for the translation itself, the web manga, the Pixiv version, the Pixiv web manga version has been fully translated over in Mangadex, and as of currently, the translators are working on translating the official release. So yeah, I am patiently waiting for them to finish the first chapter, just so I can tell you the actually good review. What am I saying right now? So yeah, please give this manga a go. It's called X-Hero High Schooler and X-Demon King Househusband. It's really wholesome, you guys. Right? The high schooler main character is really serious, but the Demon King is just a himbo. He's just a really dumb muscle, and it's really wholesome. Just watching him trying to do his best to become the best wife for the main character. It's completely wholesome. All right, next up. Oh, and speaking of wholesome, we have this manga. I talked about this in the previous Manga Talk stream, right? On the recent mangas that I've been reading. It's called Kirakira shitemo Shinakutemo, which means even if it sparkles or not. Whether it sparkles or not. This is created by... I forgot who the author was. And I really like the author's previous work. Her previous work is called Watashi to Papa to Hige Gorilla-san. Right? Me, my dad, and the bearded gorilla, which tells the story of this family which comprises of father, daughter, and their uncle, right, who start to move in together because the mother had recently passed away, and it tells the story about their daily life. It was presented in this wholesome four panel comics kind of way. Anyway, so in this so the Kirakira shitemo Shinakutemo it's actually more of an anthology series, right? The reason for that is because originally this was meant to be a limited series, right? Only 3 chapters. But the reception was so positively received that the publisher decided to turn the series into a full serialization, right? So yeah, so this is actually an anthology, and it tells the story of different couple, right? In each arc, it tells the story of different arc tells the story of different couple. So the first arc, right, the first 3 chapters, it tells the story of these 2 characters, right? I don't think it's these two. These 2 are from the serialization. So in the first couple, right, has this one guy who is in love with his best friend, but his best friend ended up getting a girlfriend, and he actually feeling really sad because his best friend actually that he is crushing on has a girlfriend, and they started hanging out less and less. And one day, the main character they had a fateful meeting with his junior, right? And the junior actually really interested with the guy, and so they start hanging out together, and until the final chapter, they finally start to confront their feelings towards each other, right? And how being in a gay relationship, while it's outside the norm of Japan, it's actually and how it probably won't how the high school fling won't last, right? It tries to tell the story of how the high school fling won't it's the ethereal feeling of a high school fling. And the title is actually referencing of how high school is the epitome of their youths, should I say, on how during their youth they are most free, and how they have this sparkling youth life, right? But by being in a gay relationship, they actually deny the rights of having that sparkling youth, as the main characters, how the main characters try to perceive it. But they don't care because they're in love, right? They don't care whether it's outside the norm or not because they are in love. So I also like the art, right? There's something about the art, the way that the characters are drawn in this rounded lines kind of way, right? No angular shapes or anything. I really like that in romantic manga. It's more simplistic that way, so it can convey more emotion that is really hard to describe, right? And it really evokes the feeling of this raw feeling, right? So anyway, the reception for the arc, right, got so positive that the publisher decided to give it a full serialization. So every 3 chapters it follows this different couple, right? And how their relationship works. It follows a different pair of high school students and how they view relationships, kind of way. Unfortunately, the English translation only got so far as only for the limited series, not for the actual full serialization. And that's really a shame because I really highly enjoyed this manga. I also like the author's other works. So the author also has another yaoi series, but it was more presented in a 4-panel kind of way. It was really wholesome. I forgot what its name was. So yeah, please check it out. It's called Kirakira shitemo Shinakutemo. It's available on Mangadex. Please give it a read. Okay, next up. Oh my god. Okay, so for this title, I actually had to censor the cover page. Okay, so the only reason why I put this in here because we just it's currently June. It's when I made the list, right? It was May, and I really wanted to celebrate Mermay in a kind of way, so I decided to put this just to celebrate Mermay, the end of Mermay. So this is called let me put up my notes. Okay, so this is called Samezoku no Sasagemono. I forgot what the English title is. Yeah. So as the cover can highly suggest, it's a yaoi about mermaids. Oh my god. I actually had to censor the cover page because yeah, you can see the buttocks. Yeah, it's by, I forgot who the author was. Satomin, I believe, was the name of the author. And so the story is that, so it tells the story of these 2 tribes, right? That lives, one tribe lives by the forest and one tribe lives by the sea. And these 2 tribes had this agreement that the forest tribe would give away one of the member of the tribe to the sea tribe for because, and the sea tribe here, some say they have this they come from a long bloodlines of a noble and cross between humans and sharks, according to the legends. And yeah, so the main character was meant to be the chief of the forest tribe, right? And one day during a hunt, and he got lost and he got injured, and he was rescued by a member of the Sea Clan. And his blood injury causes the Sea Clan dude to awaken his shark instinct, and they started to commit physical relationship. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention on the forest tribe part is that there's only males in the forest tribe, and they are capable of breeding. So the males, right? They have this ceremony where two tribe members fight, and the loser will breed a child, right? So the main character, the forest dude, was meant to be a chief, right? He was meant to be the alpha. But by committing physical relationship with the Sea Clan, his body constitution turned into a breedable fella. And so he decided that for that year's tribal sacrifice, he would offer himself to the Sea Clan, to the Sea Tribe. And turns out his marriage partner is the dude that rescued him, right? And so they started to spend their life together, right? And the thing about the legends about how the Sea Clan's blood is mixed with sharks. So the member of the Sea Clan has this ability to transform into a half shark. They can have half shark's lower body. And and the author's Twitter, the way that it tries, one of the taglines that the author used to promote this manga on his Twitter is that, "Did you know that shark has 2 pee-pee?" End of sentence, and just link to the manga. Oh my god. Well, that's one of the facts of life that I know just from reading yaoi. The more you know. So yeah, anyway, I thought this was just going to be a 1 volume kind of thing, because it actually, the arc, like I said, the whole one volume yaoi thing, and how they usual plot bit, they goes through their usual plot beats, right? And I thought it was going to end right there. And then a couple of months ago, Satomichi, yeah, that's the name of the author. Satomichi announced a 2nd volume of this. And it continues the story of their married life, their life as a married couple, right? And how there's this new conflict arises. Oh, one of the termites just came crawl out of the cabinet. Wow. Anyway. Oh shoot, I actually forgot another title that I should have put in this. I forgot the name of the title though. Nah, maybe if I make a 3rd Manga Talk Yaoi stream. Maybe I'll put it in. So yeah. If you guys want to check out this manga, if you're actually really into mermaids, if you're really into sharks, yeah, if you wanted to celebrate Mermay, this is called fuck. This is called Samezoku no Sasagemono. Yeah, just type the authors Satomichi, right? Okay. Anyway, next mango. Oh, right. This one. There was a time where I was really into yaoi that's set in Edo period. Because during that time, I really got fascinated because Japan during that time was actually homosexuality in feudal Japan wasn't actually frowned upon, and it's actually quite common, at least according to pop culture. And yeah, so was actually pretty more common and wasn't actually a taboo back then in feudal Japan, and I got really fascinated by that. So I started reading like a bunch of yaoi titles sets in Edo period. This is actually one of my favorites. Okay, so this is called Momo Manji. It's yeah. This dude in the top is his name is Momo, and the one at the bottom is called Manji. Okay. So yeah. Other than that, the other reason why this is on the list is because of the character, the kanji for the name Manji. As you can see it right here, it almost looks like a swastika. And why is this fascinating? For those normal weeps out there, you might be familiar with a series of anime and manga called Tokyo Revengers, right? And so the way that Tokyo Revengers is spelled in Japanese is Tokyo Manji at this kanji, and then Revengers, right? And for some reason, the anime actually has two versions, right? Though the original and the one that erased this kanji right here, for obvious reason, because of swastika, because of its resemblance with swastika. So in the censored version, they actually just erase all of that of the manji kanji. Because for some reason it somehow triggered people and triggered international people. And yeah, so full disclosure, the reason why I know how to pronounce this kanji is because this yaoi right here. I learned how to I learned this kanji because of reading yaoi. Before Tokyo Revengers was even a thing. I spoke really too loud. My parents are sleeping downstairs and I talk about yaoi. What is my life? Yeah. So yeah, I learned how that this actually is pronounced as manji because of this yaoi way before Tokyo Revengers was a thing. I haven't even gone through the plot of this even yet. Oh my god. So yeah, so the story, I haven't gotten through to the story yet. So it tells the story of this couple, Momo and Manji. So Momo is what was his profession? He was a former prostitute, right? He used to work as this kagema, which essentially male prostitutes who dress as females, right? And so one day, he quits his job as a kagema, and then he started dating this guy, Manji, who is, was he a teacher or something? Anyway, and he used to be this former fireman, right? And they start living together, and the whole series just tell the story of their daily life together, right? And how their past life as either kagema and former firemen start to catch up to them. And that really creates a really interesting drama, in my opinion. Because Momo is actually the himbo in this relationship, despite his more feminine features because of his former profession. But he started to discard his old life and try to act more manly, and that creates a more say character depth, I guess, in Momo. Because while his feminine appearance, he wanted to still be perceived as a male, like as a manly male, like so he can conform as a normal dude in society, I guess. I did not read way too much into this manga. I just like the wholesome nature of their relationship. Anyway, yeah, if you guys want to give it a try, this is called Momo and Manji. This is called Momo and Manji. You can read it either in Mangadex, I think, or other manga scan later website. I believe it's the whole manga is complete. Yeah, there's even a doujin spin-off of this. Yeah, if you want to see this kanji, this swastika kanji being done on daily basis, just read it. Yeah, I learn something new every day. Oh, this one. So this is called Kimi ni Nidome no Sayonara wo, or in English, it's called A Second Goodbye to You. Okay. So the way that I could describe this manga, think of Erase, but gay. Yeah, that's the way to describe this. So this manga tells a story about this dude, right? And back in high school, he was a part in the art club, and his fellow friend in the club is this art prodigy, right? But one day, he went missing without submitting one of his masterpieces for an art exhibition. And one day, and decades have passed until one day his body was discovered, right? So the main character attends his funeral. He starts to meet his old friend back in the art club. And after the funeral, he starts to hear this gossip that his dead body was actually discovered in the art club room, and that and he has been dead for decades for an entire decade, and he actually got killed when he went missing and was buried inside the art club room, inside the walls. And that's really messed up. So he went to visit the casket again and to see the masterpiece painting that the other friend, the murdered guy, never submit, right? And then when he opens the door to the funeral room, he saw his other fellow art club members got attacked and got killed, basically. And before he can ask for help, he was also get attacked. He was also attacked. He was beaten in the head a bunch of times. And his only clue was the dying message from the friend that got killed on that same room about the painting. So as he tried to put the pieces together, he opens his eyes and he discovers himself that he has traveled back in time. Back to the time that the first friend was still alive. So now, it turns into this sort of who-done-it mysteries, or should I say, who-will-done-it mysteries, kind of like Erase, on who is going to kill the friend, the clubroom friend. Yeah, and it's a really interesting. The first chapter got me really hooked already, because I thought I was going to read some really interesting yaoi, and then I just decided to, and I got served by this murder mystery, and I got really intrigued. Oh, the subscribe button. Hold on, let me see if I can grab it. Grab that subscribe button. Grab that subscribe button. Yeah, it's really interesting. And so far, only 2 chapters has been released in English. The Scanlation team. In Japan, it already has 2 volumes are already out. Maybe after the stream, I'm going to go and read the Japanese raws. And yeah. So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, it's available on Mangadex. It's called Kimi ni Nidome no Sayonara, or A Second Goodbye to You. If you enjoyed a really good murder mystery, right? Or if you really enjoy Erased, give this a shot. Okay. Okay, next up. All right. This manga is actually one of the reasons why I wanted to do this stream in the first place. Why I wanted to pick up the yaoi topic again. So this is called Gangetsuro Kitan, right? And it tells the story of so the story is that there's this guy who is an heir to a miso shop, right? So there's this rich dude who is an heir of a miso shop, and the first chapter, his father had recently passed away, right? So now he has this. So he has to inherit the miso shop, right? But unfortunately, he has no talent for managing his business. So, and he wanted to leave to pass the entire business to his cousin, right? But unfortunately, and so he got involved. So one day he got involved in this murder case, should I say. And his only lead was on this brothel, right? So he started to visit this brothel, and he encountered this man, right? So the man is should I say male courtesan in a way in this establishment. So the brothel is actually a really high-end brothel, right? One of the best in the town. And this other dude is a male courtesan in some sort of way in that establishment. However, the courtesan dude has no other talent but telling scary stories, right? So he only has this talent of telling scary stories, and he was really intrigued with the main character because of his murder case, and thought maybe he could use it for his inspiration. So the two start investigating the murder case together, and I don't know what happened, but bobbidi boo, bobbidi bob, the main character becomes enamored, should I say, by the courtesan dude, and he started to frequent the brothel so he can visit him, because he's actually in love with the male courtesan dude. The male courtesan dude is the guy holding the pipe in the cover. Yeah, and one of the thing of this manga, and the whole reason why I made this entire the current stream, why I want to pick up this topic, is because reading this manga actually makes me discover something about myself. Yeah. So I was reading the first chapter, and then I thought, why does this manga fascinates me so? And then I realized it. I really like yaoi when there's an element mystery to it, right? When there's a mystery element to it, right? Whether what kind of it is, whether it's a mystery about what the main character's backstory is, or the surrounding mystery. I mean, if you looked at the previous titles that I've mentioned, they all have one thing in common. There is an element of mystery to it, right? About the main story of the character, what's their trauma, or even if there's a supernatural mystery element in it. I am really intrigued by those kind of yaoi. And that's what I discovered when I reading this manga, right? The mystery element got me intrigued. So the way that this manga is that it's actually a case of the week format. It's a detective mystery novel, right? Where each chapter there's a new murder or case happening, and it's either involved in the brothel, right? It always has something to do with the escort industries in that setting, in that building, and these two just investigates it, right? Maybe try to solve it. And the way, so this manga was actually updated very sporadically, like very uncommon, I think. So it only updates like once or twice every year, right? Like there is always a huge gap of 4 months between each chapter, and you can actually see how based on the art progression, if you try to compare it with because of the less frequent update, the art shift between each chapter is really apparent, especially with the character designs between the main characters, right? So one day so each chapter, or should I say each volume, the overall designs of each character would just completely shift. So sometimes it's almost really hard to differentiate. Even in this cover, back when I first read it, I almost couldn't tell what's actually going on. And there's also the way that the plot actually progresses in each chapter, in each case. It's almost got really confusing, which is really sad because the art is actually really good, you guys. Yeah, if you can see like here, I mean, these two are hot. The men in this stories are hot. And the sexual tension between these two, just because okay, I need to explain the dynamic. So the main character is like I already explained. So the main character is basically a rich young master, while the escort dude is just a lowly escort with no talent whatsoever. However, they start to taking advantage of each other because the main character visits him so frequently, he almost becomes his only source of living. And the main character tries to make advances to the brothel dude, but he always tries to refuse because he's actually really not into men. How hetero he is. But as the series progresses, you can actually see how they start to reciprocate each other, right? And how they start to quote unquote engage in physical relationship. But it's on more of a professional level between escort and the escortee and the client kind of way. And that really creates a really interesting dynamic, in my opinion. So yeah, that's my criteria for a good yaoi. For me, it needs to contain one, a great mystery element, and two, just a great chemistry between the two male leads. Yeah, other than that, maybe the physical relationship scene, maybe, I don't know. I won't read it unless it's hot. Just kidding. Yeah. Anyway, next up, I'm not sure if this count as a yaoi per se. This is called Seiten Ordo. I've talked about this in my stream like a bunch of times. This is actually one of my favorite recent manga in 2022-2023. Yeah. So to describe the plot, right? So this dude in yellow is the main character, right? And he has this gift of seeing people's chakra line. And he used it to visit brothels and basically make women come. And just like that, in 1 hour and 49 seconds, I already break my not safe for work rules. Because it's the only way that I can describe it, right? He has the cum touch, basically. And so, but unfortunately, he was too good at his skill that he got kicked out of brothels so frequently. And one of the brothels that he frequents to is this dude, the boy in white, who actually works as a male courtesan, and he's basically his favorite, the main character's favorite courtesan, right? And one day, and one night, while they do, when he's doing his regular night visit to the brothel, right? And they have, and he, the main character, these two dudes, and he bought his service. Yeah, that's the way that I describe it. He reveals that night is going to be their last night together, because turns out he was actually an heir to a Turkish Empire throne, right? And recently, the king, the sultan, had recently passed away. And it was revealed that the main character was actually the sultan's illegitimate child, right? So a bunch of Turkish soldiers basically bust out and basically commit an FBI open up on that brothel. FBI open up, and they wanted to escort the main character back to Turkey. But one thing though, so these two dudes are actually in love with each other, right? And he actually wanted to buy his freedom. So using the money as a new sultan, he actually bought his freedom. But this dude won't have it, right? This boy won't have it, right? Because he's totally in love with the main character and he wanted to be with him. But unfortunately, no men are allowed in the Turkish palace, because once the main character will go to Turkey, he will be assigned a harem where the main character will have to, start making babies, start making new heirs to the throne, right? And in that imperial Turkish harem, no men are allowed, right? Only eunuchs. So you can see where this is going. So the boy started, oh, there's no boys allowed? Fine. He takes up the soldier's one of his sword and starts commit self-mutilation on his genitalia area. He turned himself into a eunuch. He cut his dick off. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, so he chopped his dick off, and he becomes a eunuch, and yeah, he's now joined the main characters in his journey. How should I say it? In this main character's journey of sleeping with all girls of different continent. Yeah, so in the imperial harem, it's filled with girls of different nationalities. You can actually see it in the promotional material or in the first color page, right? So he was given this harem full of multinational girls, right? But unfortunately, the legitimate daughter of the former sultan, basically the main character's half-sister, was very dismissive of the main character by claiming that he's not the real heir, right? And she really wants to control the main character. So she issued a no-nut challenge for the main character, right? So he said, you can sleep with any girl in this harem that you want, but If you actually not, you will become my slave. and the main characters was like, oh, I get to sleep with any girls that I want. Say no more. And he did this, and apparently his Kegel game was really good because he started to commit physical relationship with all of these girls, and not once did he ever nut inside of them. I was like, oh my god, this Giga Chat right here. Anyway, it's really hilarious. It's really funny. Each chapter presents different girl, right? Different girl that he must quote unquote conquer. And each girl has their own issue and how they had this either trauma or something that caused them very repulsive to men, because all of those girls, ew, woman. I can this yaoi stream has contaminated me so much I cannot even say girl right. Okay, so I can't even say women. Okay, so each chapter deals with this different girl, and the main character must do something to get the girls past trauma or something, right? Which ultimately culminates in them engaging in physical relationship, right? And it's just really cultured. The author himself is actually the creator of this other historical manga called Otome Senso, which I still probably need going to read. And his Pixf page is full of a lot of cultured stuff, and it's really fascinating. It's really fascinating when a straight non-yaoi artists tried to draw a manga with yaoi elements in it. And I think that's one of the main draws of this manga, and how it portrays heterosexuality, should I say. Anyway, if you like harem manga with multinational girls, this is actually a perfect manga for you. I actually have been reading this other harem manga recently. Yeah, we're going on a bit of a tangent right now. I forgot what the title was called. Yeah, it's called Teisho Gyakuten Sekai no Dote Henkyo Ryoshu Kishi, which translates to Virgin Knight who is the frontier lord in the gender switch world. And holy crap, the girls, it's a harem manga, and the girls was top tier. It was the most cultured manga I've ever seen. And there's not even a nude, there's not even a sexual scene in it. It's just the way that the mangaka draws the girls in that manga, just really well done. To tell the story, it's an isekai, the main character is an isekai dude. He was isekai as this lord, as a lord of a territory. And in this world, the ratio, there's more women than men in this world. So man is treated as more of a commodity, right? And it's basically a world where Beyonce rules the world, right? Where girls run the world, right? And they have rule over the men, where man is treated as commodity. But the main character, right, was built like a brick. And while the preference in this world was more into the more feminine boys, the beta boys, should I say. So he thinks that he's actually repulsive towards the other girls, but unfortunately, contrary to his popular belief, a lot of the girls, of course, because this is a harem, a lot of girls is actually really attracted to him, especially the royal family, right? And harem shenanigans ensues. And the only reason why I got hooked in this series in the first place is because the first chapter is actually titled "My Dick Hurts," and that actually enough to get me go like, I'll take your entire stock. And the first chapter is actually just tells the story of how he's facing the queen, who is in skimpy outfits, who's essentially just a MILF in general. So the main character has to wear this chastity belt just to hide his raging boner. It was absolutely hilarious. Yeah, you should go check that out. Anyway, enough of that. We've been talking for like 2 hours now. I'm not even sure if people are still watching. You voted for this, by the way. You guys just wanted to see me talk about yaoi. And you're not even here. Like, what the fuck? Anyway. Next manga. Oh, I think this is the last one. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, this is the last one. So this is called The Otherworld's Books Depend on the Bean Counter. I talk about this for a couple of times in my stream now, right? So this is another isekai manga, right? So it tells the story of this dude, the one on the left, right? He got isekai'd along with this high school girl, right? So it tells us. So this dude, during his way from work, he saw this girl is about to get isekai'd, right? And the dude tried to help, but he got isekai'd along with her as well. And so he got transported into this kingdom where the kingdom tried to basically looking for a priestess from another world, where the girl, right, essentially becomes the holy maiden, right? And the holy maiden's job is to purify the world from miasma, from the dark miasma that's been plaguing the world. So everyone in the kingdom was really accepting with the high school girl to become their holy maiden, but they did not expect for the main character to get transported as well. So he's been treated some sort of like tag-along. That I'm not even kidding. That's actually his nickname in that world, like the priest, the holy maidens tag along. And so, fortunately, the main character wants to be feel useful. He doesn't want to be seen as this burden, right? So he started to apply as a civil servant in this kingdom, right? He started to apply for a job as a civil servant, and he got he works on the accounting department of the kingdom, should I say. And this is one of the main draws of the story, because the main character is actually a massive workaholic, right? We still haven't even gotten to the other guy yet, right? Anyway, so the main character is a raging workaholic, right? And he tries to apply the Japanese work ethics in this other world. Unfortunately for him, the isekai people there actually appreciate a good working hours and a good rest, right? So essentially, anything that Japanese workaholic people are really the opposite of the Japanese work culture, essentially, right? Think of the most think of the best workplace that you can ever think of, right? Good working hours, good environment, snack is provided, you got clean uniforms, every day a high salary, even a 2-hour break, right? They even get benefits, for crying out loud. Sounds like a really dream job. But unfortunately, the main character is a raging workaholic, right, from Japan, of all places. So he started to apply his work ethics in the other world. We still haven't even gotten to the main plot yet, right? And so one day, he started to get really exhausted, right? Because of his Japanese work ethics. And so his coworker actually recommended using healing potion, right? And so the main character start to see this healing potion as kind of a little pick-me-up, right? Kind of like an energy drink. And if you've been chugging, for those who actually drinks Red Bull for daily basis, that is not a healthy way. And so the healing potion has a magic substance in it. And unfortunately, because since the main character wasn't even meant to be summoned, he has no resistance to magic in the other world. So his health started to deteriorate because he essentially got magic poisoning. And that's when the other half of the pairing comes in. This dude on the right. So this dude is a knight for the kingdom, right? He is an up-and-coming knight. He's the chief. He's the captain of the knight troops, essentially, right? And at first glance, he is very against his work ethics. Should I say he's not really going along with the main character, but he started to see the value in him, should I say. And when the magic poisoning started to affect the main character, the night guy decided to help him, trying to get him accustomed to the magic in the air. And the only way to do that is through physical contact, right? That's not even a euphemism. Through just how should I say that? A tuning ceremony through physical contact, right? To get him used to get the main character used to the magic molecules, to the magic in the air in this world. And as the series goes on, the physical relationship starts turning to, well, physical relationship. Actually, they actually started with the quote-unquote physical relationship first, and then this, yeah, and that is actually a euphemism. And then they start to make this deal that the knight is going to help the main character to get used to the magic. And then the knight dude start to notice his work ethics, right? He start to look at his work ethics and his very, very unhealthy lifestyle. So the night guy then starts to get him involve himself in the main character's life and trying to get him to have a healthier life, right? So the night guy start to get him to eat more regularly, have more regular meals, not skimping on, try to take a break every once in a while. But the main character is just that much of a raging workaholic that it sort of creates this back and forth banter between two of them, and I really like that dynamic, right? Because while they are really stubborn on their what they perceive as a normal lifestyle, both of them are actually really respects each other in that kind of way, and the works that they do. But they still wanted to but the night guy still wants the main character to live a healthier lifestyle. And as the series progresses, they start to learn more from each other, right? The main characters start to live a more healthier life, and the night guy start to get himself more involved with his work, right? Because when the series first started, he's more of a hands-off kind of captain for his night troops, and by interacting himself with the main character, he started to get his hands on more the should I say the administrative work, the paperwork on the night troops. And I actually really like the series so much. I actually went ahead and read the novel that this manga was based on. Right? So this, as usual, since it's isekai, the prose for the novel is actually available online. It's a Naroka novel, so I can actually just read all of them, and I read the entirety. So the light novel, the web novel, is actually there's 3 volumes, right? And the comic, currently the English translation has been released up to volume 3, and with the 4th volume coming up later this year, I believe. And I read ahead with the with the novel, and I must say I really quite like it. The novel itself is more on the not some of the chapters is not safe for work. Because while the manga kind of gloss over the physical relationship scenes, the web novel actually went on full-on detail on the intimate scenes, right? But fortunately, they actually gave a warning on that chapter. So if you're not really into that, if you're not into smut, you can just skip that chapter and go back to the main plot. But who wants to do that? Am I right? Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, about the volume. I really enjoyed the first two volume, but the third one, the final volume, I don't really like it so much. Mostly because of how abrupt the ending was, right? Not because something happened that turns me off. It's just that the conclusion feels like a little bit rushed. They could go for a more development. Like they could have easily milked like 2 or 3 more volumes out of the series. Yeah, and the fact that they didn't really hurts with the characterization of some of the characters, especially with the high school girls that got summoned that at the beginning of the story, because she's actually much more involved in the overall plot, or the lack of her involvement in the actual plot, right? And the way that she's characterized in the final volume kinda not sit well with me, especially after her development from the first volume and the second volume. It just feels kinda abrupt, especially with the conclusion of the plot, the third volume plot line. It just doesn't sit well with me. But still, in overall, I really enjoyed this manga. If you enjoyed isekai with really good character chemistry, please give this a go. Right? It's a slow burn. It's a slow burn. They don't even engage in the physical relationship up until the end of the first volume. That's how much of a slow burn this is. They actually took their time to building up the plot. Yeah, that's also one of the other plus. Anyway, I guess that's all of the mangas that of the my yaoi manga recommendation. Yeah. Oh, we sure talk a lot on this stream. How do you like my recommendation list? Let me know in the chat, or if you're watching this on the VOD, let me know in the comments, or if you actually have your manga recommendation. Actually, leave your manga recommendation down below, and maybe I'll give it a read. And who knows, maybe I'll conjure up enough manga titles to actually make another one of these. Anyway, I guess it's time to end tonight's stream. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you enjoyed that despite me just stammering through all the words. I made a really terrible reviewer, guys. So sorry about that. I kept stammering, I kept using filler words and stuff. I'm not sure even my mouth is moving. I'm back with this. Oh, bait. What else? Yeah, so if you like what you see, if you like this kind of stream, be sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more of this, be sure to hit that subscribe button and get notified on... Just ring the bell, okay? Ring the bell because I rarely announce when I do my stream. So yeah, that bell would be really useful to use. Oh yeah, anyway, that's the end of tonight's stream. Tomorrow, at 8 a.m., I'll be doing a Dokapon Kingdom collab stream. Okay, let me... Hold on. Let me open up... Yeah. Anyway, so tomorrow, I'll be doing a Dokapon Kingdom stream with myself, Kyosen, the Sergeant, and Steph, right? We've been planning this collab for like months now, ever since the announcement of Dokapon Kingdom Connect for the Nintendo Switch, right? We've been planning this ever since it got announced. So what, like 4 months? And it was just an issue of finding a full party to do the full campaign. And we finally found it. Me and Kyosen have been planning for this for like months, and Kyosen finally found the 2 other people. We got Sergeant, and we have Steph, who's also a fan of Dokapon series. Yeah, I work hard on making this thumbnail, you guys. And yeah, so excited to play with them. I hope I can actually play with them despite with the current condition of the termite infestation on my house. I don't even have a Switch to actually play the game, but me and Kyosen have been going through the workaround for that through Parsec. And with the new setup, I think I can safely stream this I can stream this fully with 30 FPS without any drop frames. And we'll see what happens. So yeah, the stream will start tomorrow at 8 a.m. So instead of the usual time at night, I'll be streaming in the morning. Mostly to accommodate for our different time zones. Ooh. Anyway, that's it for the end of tonight's stream. I hope you have a wonderful time. If you guys want to support me, please consider subscribing, if you want to, be sure considering leaving donation down below or during the tomorrow's stream. Speaking of, I also have a coffee page if you're into that. And I also have a Patreon page where you can sign up and get 1 week early access to all of my future content, such as manga translation and all other stuff. This week, I actually forgot to upload this on Patreon this week. We are going to have Akeno Tobari chapter 278 to 279. And woo! We actually did the typesetting stream for that last night. It has become an archive now. If you want to watch the VOD, you can only do so by visiting my Patreon page. Anyway, a special shout out to all of my patrons over at patreon.com/Nanaten. We have Cameron Moriarty, Gregory, Mr. Incognito, Tracy Umeda, and T-Well. Thank you so much for your support. And if you want your name in here, yeah, just sign up for my Patreon. Starting from $1, you can get your name on this list. So yeah, anyway, that is it for tonight's stream. I hope you have a wonderful time, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead of you. And as always, fuck, I still don't know. Fuck, I still don't have any catchphrase to say. Anyway, I'm gonna end tonight's stream and start uploading the Ake no Tabari chapters. Okay, bye! And end stream. Yeah, see you guys tomorrow.